Hi, Donna. So tell me, what is the president's budget?
The president's budget sets the spending and revenue levels for each year, and it's really based on the year previous, and it shows what the president's priorities are for the coming fiscal year. It starts the budget process in Congress, and it starts the discussion. The president's budget, though, is a request. It's not something that has to be taken all at once, but it's a starting point for the Congress to determine appropriations.
And so when is the budget released?
Well, according to the Budget and Accounting Act, the president must release the budget by the first Monday in February. This year, the president, however, has decided to release it on next Monday, the 13th of February. The fiscal year, the budget he'll be releasing is fiscal year 2013, and that fiscal year runs from October 1st to September 30th. So we are in February, and the budget year will when the budget's released, we're in February, and the budget year will start October 1.
So what happens after the president releases his budget?
So once the president's budget is released, the beginning of hearings on the budget starts in Congress. The first set of hearings is in the Senate and the House Budget Committee with the director of the President's Office of Management and Budget, who actually puts the budget together for the president. After that, next couple weeks, each of the secretaries will go before the Appropriations Committee to have hearings to talk about more in depth about what is in their budget, how they see the money being used for programs in their budget, and giving congressional members the opportunity to ask them detailed questions about parts of their budget. Will you be able to use all this funding at in 1 year? How do you see that happening? And how the priorities are being played out.
So does the president's budget include any policies that aren't fiscal?
Yes, and a perfect example of that is the syringe exchange programs. This year, as you know, fiscal year 12, the ban on the use of federal funds for syringe exchange was put back in place. We had gotten that lifted a couple of years ago, and we were very pleased with that because it is an important policy, important prevention policy for our communities. But in the final appropriations bill for fiscal year 12, they were able to reinstate that ban on the use of federal funds for syringe exchange. AIDS United has asked the president to include in his budget request that that ban be lifted. We hope that that will happen.
So how did other HIV programs fare in the president's last budget request?
Well, last year, in fiscal year 12, the Ryan White program got, the president's request was an increase of approximately $64 million. The Title X program, there was an increase of request for approximately $28 million. HIV prevention and surveillance got an increase of $57.2 million. And that, when I say increase, I mean the request was there. The increase may or may not have the process didn't end up at those numbers, but that is what the president put in. And it showed the president's priorities. It showed that the National HIV/AIDS strategy was important to him, and that he felt that it would be putting money into these programs was important. The Teen Pregnancy Prevention Program got $110 million, and that was an increase of $5.2 million. And the Minority AIDS Initiative, the president's request was an additional $10 million. The final process didn't end up quite there, but that was the request. So we did see, again, his priority and his interest in HIV and AIDS programs.
So how will programs fare in the president's budget this year?
We're hopeful. We don't know. We will know Monday morning, and regardless of what the president's request is, whether it's an increase of funding or it's flat funding for this year, fiscal 13, advocates will continue to ask for increased funding for domestic HIV and AIDS programs. It's very much needed.
So who can we contact if we have questions about the president's budget and HIV/AIDS programs?
Well, you can send an email to policy@aidsunited.org.
Great. Thank you so much, Donna.
Thank you.